Hey guys, Dabadoo here. So while we're all waiting at this screen right now, I thought I'd release an updated build video for the plans that I have as my starter character in Path of Exile 2, which would be the Tri-Elemental Meta Invoker Monk. So what I've done is I've come up with two updated skill trees, one for kind of the early mid game and one for more of the mid late game. And then I have, a gem loadout as well for kind of like mid game, if you will, mid to late. And then this is also the 6-socketed loadout. This would be probably a late game gem loadout. So I got these all updated, ready to go. The skill tree actually seems like an improvement compared to the adjustments that they made. So I'm happy with it. So my build is essentially stronger. But let's go over the skill tree pathing and what you want to do and kind of the major changes that I noticed. I won't take too long on this. This is just kind of like a build update video. All right, so again, the links are in the description for this video. So all the tabs that you see that I'll be going over will be linked in the description. Okay, so you want to go through here. This is the attack speed, attack damage. You come up here, you want to just start buying all these things. Okay? These will help you out right from the get-go, and it's kind of like front-loaded power and quality of life. Then, you can come up here and grab these, go here, get this stuff, grab this. I'd probably come up here, grab this, come down here, grab this, go over here, like this. Now, here's some mana regen. You got mana regen from over here and mana regen over here. You might have to, I kind of went here last, but depending on the needs of your character, you might want to rush down here just to get this to, make things feel good. So like grab this, grab that, all these things are kind of like quality of life. You can always fit in more damage, evasion and ES later. It's all good. But this is how you should start out. And again, try to rush those quality of life nodes. You might be disappointed. Oh, I can't get the sweet attack damage, but sometimes these things are, they make everything smoother. So just consider it depending on what's necessary. Now, let's go over the 5 gem setup that I have. Now for Siphoning Strike, Life Leech and Mana Leech are going to be very important. So put these in Siphoning Strike as soon as you can, okay? Shock chance as well. You want this to shock. I'd say your 5th would be Conduction. For Falling Thunder, Jagged Ground's nice. It does that AoE slow. That should be nice. Also, Innervate's very, very powerful. So you want it. You want to stick it on there as soon as you can get it. Weapon Elemental damage just makes this hit harder, which is nice, and faster attacks. Because this is your big damage dealer. The Hand of Chayula, which is your initiator and curse mechanism. You're not using Sniper's Mark. Again, you're using Voltaic Mark. And Temp Chains is going to be your Hex Curse. This is going to be your mark. And then Hex Bloom would be probably your 3rd support. And then Heightened Curse would be your 4th support. And then we're looking at, Tempest Bell, probably Pulverize, Area of Effect, and Lockdown and Pin. That's probably the, order of importance that I would slot them. And, switch them around. Like, if I have a skill gem slotted first that you don't get later in the campaign, just kind of, use the best alternative that you'll acquire through the campaign to fill this out. All right, so for the Heralds on a 5-socket, let me just go over it. We have Execute, Elemental Focus, Lightning Mastery, and Vitality. Of note, Herald of Thunder does not shock, so you're going to need to get your shocks from something else, but it does make it kind of easier for you to shock. So, it adds flat lightning damage to all of your attacks. That's 1 to 10, I guess, at level 5, and I believe that will increase as the gem itself levels up. And then, I already have Lightning Mastery on that, so it's going to increase a little bit from that as well. But I'm aware that Herald of Thunder does not shock. That's why you have Elemental Focus on it, but it gives you that added flat damage, which will basically make all of your other abilities shock easier. Now we also, for Herald of Ash, probably the first gem that you want to get 4 sockets on if you have to pick and choose. I don't know how it's going to work, but the first thing I would 4 socket would probably be Herald of Ash, just because you can fit in all of these support persistent gems on there, which is really nice. You got Herbalism, Cannibalism, Precision, Clarity. Clarity is probably the most important of all of these. All right, so let's talk about some of the gem switch ups I made with, looking at the full tree and when more data mined information was released. So I got rid of Lingering Illusion. We don't really need it in this build. This build's going to have a ton of power charges, so it's not a problem. But what I did implement in this is cast on freeze instead. So you have cast on freeze, cast on shock, and cast on ignite. And these should then trigger each other. Like it should be effects blowing up all over the screen. Cast on freeze, you're dropping firestorms everywhere. You got Fire Mastery, you got Spell Echo, so that should drop 2 firestorms. And you got, each little wave of your firestorm, will have a greater chance to ignite, which is important. So this will start triggering your ignite meta energy. Okay, and then cast on shock. This will shoot out frost bolts. This will, start freezing things, which will then, start triggering your firestorm, which will start igniting things, which will shoot out ball lightnings. So that's like all of these meta skills are going to work together, and you should at the end game, you'll have dynamism and these passive skills here to increase the meta skill energy gain that you're getting. And then on top of that, you also have the Soul Springs Eternal, which is a more modifier on increased energy gain. So that's really nice. So you'll be getting a lot of energy really quick. All of your cast on freeze, cast on shock, and cast on ignite will trigger each other. It should just be beautiful if it all works out. Or it might be, a cluster F, and I'm sorry if this build is bad. I don't think it's gonna be bad though. So on the Frostbolt, you got Cold Mastery to, increase its skill level. You got Volley, so it shoots out 3. And then you also have Hypothermia. On the Ball Lightning for cast on ignite, you got multiple projectiles, so it's gonna shoot out 3 ball lightnings, maybe more. And then you have Innervation, which will, this thing is going to be shocking constantly. So this will be a way to get you a lot of mana. And then you also have Stormfire. So these little shocks that ball lightning, shoots out, they should build up and not dissipate. So this should be quite effective. This should be a very effective, shocking mechanism. So that's the plan. That's the update. Let's go talk about the fully spec'd out gems that I have and the fully spec'd out skill tree. So this is kind of like mid to late game in terms of a gem loadout. I don't know how easy it's going to be to get, like 5 sockets. Looks like these are all 5 sockets, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if they're calling this a 6 socket or a 5 socket or whatever, but it's 5 supports on the main skill. I apologize if that revealed me as like a Path of Exile noob. So basically for Siphoning Strike, I would probably say Inevitable Critical. Although this sounds great and it might be really great for like sheet DPS, I would say this is probably your least most important support on here. I would say probably Calling actually is your least most important support on Falling Thunder. All the other ones are very useful. So I'd also probably say that Ambush would be your least important support on the Hand of Chayula. You're not really using the Hand of Chayula to do damage. It's there as a cursing mechanism. And then for the Tempest Bell, melee physical damage is probably your least needed one. Or if the pin doesn't really work out, you can kind of get rid of pin and lockdown. You can stick a melee physical damage in there instead, and then like build it for stun support or something. So it could be melee physical damage and what's the stun one? Here. here. So another possible setup instead of the pin is you can go overpower, and you can also go melee physical. Well, I guess I gotta remove it from here. Actually, this may be the better, this may be the better force support compared to the pin lockdown. I don't know. We'll see how good the pin lockdown is. But this is just an example of you're going to be mixing and matching things as you go through the campaign. You're not always going to have the gems that are available within this loadout. So you'll just be using like the best alternative or substitution and try different things out. But this is an example of like a force supported Tempest Bell, you know, that's not using the pin and lockdown, and that's using slightly different tech that will do more damage. All right, then you got, you know, for the Herald of Thunder kind of end game, I just have 4 supports on it along with Herald of Ash. You know, if you can fit a 6-1 in, great, but it's not really that important here. Again, Tempest Bell, like it depends what kind of tech you're using. There's other options that you can put in here. Cast on Freeze, the least important one of support would probably be more duration. And then for, you know, you can hypothermia or glacification, just get rid of one of those. Everything else is more important. So just pick one of these to toss if you only have 4 supports and you don't have 5 yet. And then for Cast on Ignite, the least important one would probably be Coursing Current. This is the 6 gem socket loadout. This is the 5 gem socket loadout. All right, so let's talk about the changes to the mid to late game tree that I have. Again, this is the early to mid game tree. You'll probably be like most through the campaign by the time you've filled this out, and you'll be mostly through maps or, you know, end game, let's say halfway through maps or end game once you've filled this out. This is the equivalent of probably like a level 90-ish Path of Exile 1 character. So what's the difference? Well, you know, the adjustments that GGG made to the skill tree compared to an earlier version of the beta, they made our build stronger. So that's cool. You'll be shocking more. You'll be hitting harder. Like I like the pathings, but this is to start. And then how you continue it is you just keep on buying this, this path out here. Okay. Some couple, you know, fun things to point out. You know, you'll be blinding things pretty effectively. Oh, what's over here? Is there something over here? No, we don't need. Well, let's see. This, depending if you're getting stunned, actually may be useful. So, like if you still need more like stun protection, this, because you're going to be on full life a lot, because you'll basically have your energy shield with meditate and all your like faster energy shield recharge stuff. So do consider high alert, and then also you have stuff like shadow dancing as well that you can consider for investing more into like evasion. But yeah, if you're finding yourself getting stunned a lot, even with was it Mystic, or was it? Yeah, Mystic Stance. Then, you know, grab this while going down. Oh, and one other thing, let's talk about the ascendancies in my plan. I'm still planning on going the Soul Springs Eternal. I'm the Thunder and I'm the Blizzard. What's really cool is with the tree updates, they've now put dynamism on the tree. So like this, the more energy generation plus the increased energy generation, you'll be shooting out a lot of firestorms, frostbolts, and ball lightnings. It should be pretty fun. Yeah, like this is all, I don't know if Heartstopper is something to take. You can try it or not. You know, it was better before, but you know, it's just right there. You can try the build with it and without it to see if it improves quality of life or not. And you know, there's another keystone you can consider as well, Eternal Youth. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll be posting one probably later today, at night, or tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.